welcome back to my channel for another Plan With Me video. Here is a quick look at last month's theme, which was pollinators with bees, butterflies, and flowers. I'm going to go ahead and get right into painting for July. I decided to do a watercolor theme that is oceany, so there's of course the ocean with a little bit of sand and a light blue sky for the cover page, as well as these palm trees. I actually left the spaces for the calendar boxes completely blank and didn't watercolor behind them, which I love the look of, but it also takes a while because you have to paint in between and all those individual lines. I do really like the look of it though. Also, I added some extra color and texture and shading to the palm trees to just make them look a little more real, and then I used this heat gun to dry the pages like I usually do with my watercolors. Then I lightly erased all of the pencil marks that I had made as rough guides. I am using this same fine liner for pretty much everything, so here I am just outlining the boxes with it. This felt like it took forever because I did each individual box, but it really doesn't take that long and it does have a nice look to it. These stamps are off of Amazon, and I just put a little bit of blue wash at the top of each day so I could write the day of the week, and that was pretty much all for the cover page. Once I made sure it was all dry, I used the fine liner again to write the day of the week and the numbers. I also added a little bit of washi tape afterwards, and added washi tape on the left side for a monthly tab like I have been doing this year. This is my tracker page, which is going to have a watercolor wash for the background, so I just clipped it down so the pages didn't fold up. And then I am just watercoloring, and again, not filling in with watercolor where I'm going to put boxes. These four in the middle are going to be my monthly habit trackers. The top is the one that I usually do for physical, mood, stress, and water, and sleep. And then the bottom I am doing a little differently. This is every day of the week from, I believe, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something along those lines. And then I'm just going to use it to keep track roughly of what I'm spending my time doing. So if I'm doing art, if I am doing photography, or specifically automotive photography, or things like that. Reading. So at the top here, I'm just using these fine liners to write the colors for the top tracker, and then I use a stencil to put little like ocean waves underneath those, which I ended up not loving. So when I write the titles on the other tracker, I just use these straight lines. I thought it would be fun to have a little bit more of an oceany look to this page, but it just wasn't quite what I envisioned. So here I just use the straight lines again on that stencil, and then I write in a few different categories of things that I spend my time on, or things that I want to make sure I don't spend too much time on, like being on my phone or things like that. And if you do something like this in your notebook, don't feel like you have to keep track of every single moment. I just kind of do it because sometimes it's good to look at it and go, oh wow, I spent 2 hours on my phone there, just wasting time. So you don't have to be too specific, but just kind of a general, a general look to see if you're being productive or wasting your time doing things that you shouldn't be. Here I also just put a line on all of my trackers before Sunday, because for me Sunday is the beginning of the week, and then on the top one I put one below 5, which is the middle, and below 8, which is my sleep goal. Then I just added a few little washi tapes and made sure that they were all trimmed up, and that was pretty much all for this page. This spread is the first weekly spread for the month, and I'm again doing a horizontal layout. I really enjoyed using this layout last month, and I really was able to get a lot of use out of it. It really is very simple, but basically it just has a section for tasks and then a section to write down notes about good memories or important things that happened that day, which I think is a lot of fun because there's space to journal, but then it's not only journaling space. On this particular spread, on the outermost parts of the pages, I also have sections to write to-do lists or chores that I need to do, or just general notes. I don't really remember what all of the 4 categories are right now. But yeah, you can change those up and have anything that you want in them. And here in the middle then, I just did a blue watercolor wash on all of the actual days of the week. And you can see I kind of marked off that section on the left side, which is where my top 3 most important tasks are going to go. I did end up getting a little carried away with my painting, and this blue turned out a bit darker and more vibrant than I had originally meant, but I love these colors, so it's not really a big deal. I also then used my stamp blocks again to put the days of the week on the left-hand side of each day, and I believe I also write the number using the fine liner as well. This part always takes a while because I sometimes get confused by having a stamp upside down. Like you can see the U in Tuesday is way taller than it should have been because I accidentally used the N. So it does matter, and it does help if you try to keep track of which stamp is which and not get them mixed up. This next weekly spread is in a totally different style than I have ever tried before. They are basically quarter-page boxes, but they're diagonal instead of being just a rectangle, which I think is really cool. And I saw an idea for something kind of like this on Pinterest. It was not ocean themed, I don't remember what the theme was, but when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I could change that up a little bit and make them into dive flags and use them for one of the weekly spreads. So that was kind of the inspiration behind this theme. And it also got way darker than I had originally intended, but I think it looks pretty cool. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the video later. My camera did stop recording though, so I don't have the full footage of this page getting painted. Hi guys! It has been almost 2 weeks since I filmed the other video of making these, and sorry if the quality's bad on this. For one thing, it's like 10 o'clock at night and it's dark out, obviously, and I'm recording it on my phone instead of my camera, so sorry if the lighting's a bit weird. So I have these pages that are done that I showed you in the earlier videos, and these I still never wrote the captions for what I'm going to be, or I guess the titles, for what I'm going to be tracking in these squares. And then the weekly pages, again, I really like this design, and I'm going to use it again on the last week of the month, the 4th week, because that's when we have our local county fair, so that might be a really busy week. This page turned out a lot brighter than I expected. I don't hate it, and I loved the idea behind it, and also this is going to be the middle of the month, so I think it's okay that this is really bright. But then I kind of ran out of ideas for these other 2 weekly spreads, so I had stopped recording because, for one thing, the day I recorded all of these, it got dark because watercoloring takes a while. But also, then I just didn't really have ideas and I didn't know what to do. I'm just gonna do some light blue watercolor wash on here, and then just very simple thin black lines. And then I have to trim this page still, so that way it has tabs. And then I'm going to color these tabs somehow, but I'm not quite sure how yet. Okay, so I'm not sure how well you could see that in the time lapse. It wasn't really meant to show you details, but just kind of what I roughly was doing. So this is the last page. This is also week 29 of the year. I decided to start labeling the weeks. I'm not sure really when I started doing it first, but I've been doing it for a little while now. And then this is the other week. This one, the blue did end up being a little bit darker than I wanted, but that's okay. And I also was thinking of putting more washi tape in here, but I wasn't really sure which kind. These are the 3 I ended up using in this spread. I also had this one that I thought I might use, and I didn't end up using it all. So I have these, and I'm really weird sometimes about washi tape. So like you can see I paired these, and then I paired these two, and then there's just pineapples, and then I paired the other two, and then there's just the ocean. I didn't know if I wanted to put some pineapple here, might be cute, or maybe down here, but I try not to do it always like bottom right, top left, bottom left, top right. So like you'll see I put one on the bottom right here, and here I did the opposite sides, bottom right, top left, bottom right. So I was trying to avoid putting another one on the bottom right, so I might just put blue up here. And I don't know if I'm going to put any on here because this is going to be a pretty full week, so I might just use washi tape later if I end up wanting washi tape. And then to make a fake tab, I just painted this black. This page is still wet. And yeah, that's pretty much all. So this is the flip through of the month. There will probably be some slight changes, so sorry about that, but this is more or less what it's going to look like. And I really like it. I really like the bright, cheerful, oceany look, and I think it's gonna be a very nice summer theme. So sorry again about this video quality kind of switching halfway through. I hope you still enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions or tips for color themes or styles or inspiration that you want to see me use next month, just let me know in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!